Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
What's good, y'all? It's your man Hezo, and welcome back to the Blacktop, where I always got next, you feel me? So I know it's been a couple days since I've uploaded. My apologies for that. I've had kind of a busy week this week, started my new job, and I also started going back to the gym as well, so haven't really had a ton of time to get any videos out, so again, my apologies for that. So I got a couple things on my mind for today that I want to talk about, starting off with the NBA draft and a couple other NBA rumors that I want to go through. So before I dive into everything, make sure you leave a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Help me grow my channel out. I'm on my way to my first 400 subscribers, so I'm slowly growing. I appreciate all the help and support y'all have given me thus far. Let's keep it going. Let's get right into it. Let's lead off with the NBA draft, man. What did y'all think about the NBA draft last night? To me, it was a hit or miss. I love the NBA draft. I watch it every year, but last night just really wasn't as exciting to me as it normally is. And I don't know if that's just because of the lack of trades that happened, but I expected a little bit more player movement. I expected John Collins to honestly get moved. I'm going to talk about that here in a few minutes. But overall, the first round was just not really what I expected. There was a couple surprises that I'm going to go over here. And I want to start off with the number one pick of Paolo Banchero. To me, I think that was a bad move for the Magic. And before Duke fans come at me in the comments and Magic fans, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sold on Paolo Banchero's game. I thought he was overrated the entire season. Now, this is all my opinion, man. You don't have to agree with me. At the end of the day, I'm just a dude who watches basketball. Y'all can agree with me or disagree with me if you want. It is what it is. But Paolo Banchero to me was overrated. That's just how I feel. I don't really love his game. I have a feeling that he's going to be a bust. Call for what it is. I'm calling for what it is. That's just my opinion. I think he's going to be a bust. I've said that about some guys I was right on. I've said that about some guys I was wrong on. So we'll see what happens with that. I think the Rockets got the best player in the draft with Jabari Smith. I'm very, very surprised that he fell to 3. To me, he's the best player in the draft, him and Jaden Ivey. Now, again, it's all my opinion. So I think Jabari Smith had the most complete game out of everybody in the draft. I just think that the Rockets, what they're doing down there in Houston, with now pairing him with Jalen Green, I think that's going to be a huge move for them. I think the Pistons, man. The Pistons, to me, won the draft. Getting Jaden Ivey and then getting the center, I think, what's his name? I don't even remember the kid's name. I'm not a huge college basketball fan, so forgive me for that. I don't remember the kid's name. But I know he was a stud. So, big move for the Pistons. Getting them two guys, and they have a nice young core now, man, with Cade. It's just, they're going to be a threat in the East for years to come. We'll see what happens this season. If they can maybe turn into a fringe playoff team, maybe make the play-in, it's gonna be a lot. The one team that I didn't really understand was the Knicks. Now, shocker there, right? The Knicks they did a typical Knicks move. I mean, yeah, they got 3 first-round picks, but I think they were heavily protected. I'm not really sure I agree with that if you're the Knicks GM or Knicks front office, whatever. I don't know. I mean, there was still a lot of solid guys on the board that can help their team out now, especially with the young core. Well, they don't only have a young core, but they have a young centerpiece in RJ Barrett to build around. I feel like they could have got him kind of a running mate at 11. There was still a lot of dudes left on the board. There were some questionable picks, man. Keegan Murray going number 5 before Jaden Ivey was very questionable, but at the same time, I get it. The Kings, you don't need another guard. Now, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about how they could have used that pick as leverage and drafted Jaden Ivey and traded him. I get all that, but Keegan Murray, let's not act like he's a scrub. He is like a 6'8" forward. He has good ball handling skills. He can shoot. He's a solid prospect, man, and they need a wing. Let's be honest, the Kings need a wing. I mean, they need a little bit of everything, let's be honest. But they need a wing the most. I mean, Harrison Barnes has been in trade rumors. They're probably going to get rid of him. We'll see what happens. But they got De'Aaron Fox. They got Sabonis. They got Davion Mitchell. They're starting to build somewhat of a young core. Now, do I think they're going to be in the playoffs? No, I don't, because they're the Kings. They're on a 16-year drought. They're a lost cause. But that was just a questionable pick for me. There's a couple other players that fell in the draft that I was very surprised at. My Hawks got AJ Griffin at number 16, and I'll be honest, I was ecstatic. I mean, he's a sniper. He is a sniper. And to get him at 16, I think he was projected top 10. I will take that, man. He may not get a ton of minutes this year. We'll see what happens with all the trades that they decide to do, if any, at this point. Again, I'm going to talk about that, towards a little bit towards the back half of the video. Biggest steal of the draft for me. What's it called? Jaden Hardy. I almost said Jaden Ivey again. Jaden Hardy out of the G League Ignite, going in the second round to the Dallas Mavericks, to me, that is an absolute steal. He was projected mid-first round, mid to late first round. I think that is an absolute steal for the Mavericks. Getting him to come in and contribute right away, big steal for the Mavericks. I think the Heat got a steal with Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, Jovic. I think he is going to be a stud. Serbian players, man, they just, for some reason, they have a lot of success. When Serbian players play overseas in professional basketball early on, they just have a lot of success. Bogdanovic is a solid player. Jokic is obviously a two-time MVP. They have guys over there overseas that play in Serbia that just come into the NBA and are just solid players. And I think the Heat really got a good one with Jovic. I think he is going to come in and fit in right away. He can shoot the ball well. He can handle the ball. He's a versatile player. I think that they got a really good pick with him at number 27. I'm not really going to go too much further into the NBA draft. I really just want to talk about the first couple picks and a couple of the steals and all that, a couple of the disappointments. There's a lot of other guys that kind of were surprising that fell. Again, I'm not going to get into it and what all these other teams did. It's just too much to go over. I wanted to go over the first couple things and give my opinion on it. Let me know what y'all thought about the draft. Again, I'm not a huge college basketball fan, so a lot of these guys I don't really know too much about. And again, that's why I'm not going to really go too much more into depth. I'm going to call it for what it is. I'm an NBA guy. I don't really follow college basketball too much outside of March Madness. I'm going to call it for what it is. So, let's talk about these NBA rumors, man, and what is about to transpire over the next couple weeks, starting with Kyrie Irving. I know y'all heard the news about Kyrie and what the hell is going to happen with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude has to me, he's a team destroyer. Y'all can say what you want. If you're a Kyrie fan, I'm sorry, but he destroys teams. Let's call it for what it is. He's not reliable. You'd have to be an idiot to pay him what he wants. He wants a long-term contract. He don't deserve a long-term contract. Is he going to be in Brooklyn? I don't know, man. There's a lot of teams, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Heat, the Sixers. They're all rumored to be interested, or those are the teams that he's interested in. I have a hard time believing that he's going to take a $30 million pay cut to sign with one of those teams in a sign and trade, or opting out of his contract to sign with one of them teams. I have a very hard time believing that. I just don't see it. He missed out on $17 million last year because of the whole vaccination issue. I just can't see a dude like him passing up $30 million. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. With that being said, if Kyrie does leave, I think KD, he's kind of up in the air, man. There's been a lot of speculation that KD's going to want out of Brooklyn if Kyrie leaves. Now, is that even going to be possible? There ain't no telling, man. Like, what kind of package are you going to get back for freaking Kevin Durant? There's no sufficient package that a team can put together that Brooklyn wins that trade. It's just not, to me, it's just not realistic. Will it happen? I don't know. We've seen stars move before, but I don't think we've seen a star of a Kevin Durant caliber move that gets traded. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know. I'm off the top of my head. Yeah, I know James Harden has been traded and all that. I get all that. But this caliber of Kevin Durant, I don't think we've ever seen a player like that move through a trade in the NBA. Again, y'all let me know. So a couple other trade rumors that I kind of want to go over. The first one is John Collins with the Hawks. And there's been a lot of trade speculation. Now, y'all know I'm a Hawks fan. Y'all know I love JC. If y'all been around my channel for as long as I've started. I love my boy JC. I don't want to see him go, but he's been the trade rumor of the past week for the Atlanta Hawks. A big one that I want to talk about is for DeJounte Murray. From what I've read, that it's probably not likely going to happen at this point. But at the same time, if you're not going to get DeJounte Murray, I just don't think it's worth trading John Collins. I don't see a trade out there that's legitimately going to make the Hawks better with losing John Collins. I've heard the Kings offered Harrison Barnes for him. Come on, man. Harrison Barnes? Bro, come on. He's a good player. He's a solid player. He's a champion. I get all that. He's not as good as John Collins at this point, man. I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody says. He's been on a losing franchise the past, 3-4 years. He's not as good as John Collins. He's not worth as much as John Collins. That's a horrible trade. There was a lot of speculation about them moving him for the 7th pick to Portland. They obviously got Jeremy Grant, so that didn't happen. I don't know. It's going to be tough to see what happens this week with the Hawks and what they decide to do with him. If they can swing DeJounte Murray, I would be happy with that. But at the same time, I'll be sad to see John Collins go. So we'll see what happens with that. Another trade that's been kind of going around is DeAndre Ayton to the Pistons. And I just got done talking about the Pistons' young core. Man, if they get DeAndre Ayton, watch out for the Detroit Pistons, man. They are going to be extremely competitive this year. They may not make the playoffs, but if they get DeAndre Ayton, I think they will be a fringe playoff team. Maybe an 8 seed, maybe a 7 seed. With Cade Cunningham, now Jaden Ivey, and if they get DeAndre Ayton, they got a lot of young, Sadiq Bey, they got a lot of young talent on that roster that they can maybe compete for a playoff spot if they can pull off that sign and trade with him. Now, we don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. They offload that huge Jeremy Grant contract. Were they doing that to clear the way for DeAndre Ayton? I don't know, man. It's all speculation. I've been on Twitter constantly trying to see updates of what's going on in the NBA. These next couple weeks are about to be crazy. Another name that's kind of floating around is Jalen Brunson. Apparently, the Knicks traded their pick because they want to try and maximize all the cap space for Jalen Brunson. Is that realistic? I don't know. If I'm Jalen Brunson, I'm not going to the Knicks. They're a disaster. Do not go to Jalen Brunson. Don't go to the Knicks, man. If you're watching this, which I know you're not, don't go to the Knicks. If he's smart, he should stay in Dallas. They got Christian Wood. Dallas is going to pay him if he's going to want the money. They're probably going to pay him. I just have a hard time seeing him leave a team with Luka that just went to the Western Conference Finals, that just now got Christian Wood in a trade. They got a nice team down there in Dallas, man. I have a hard time seeing him leave to go to the Knicks for just a team that's just, they're not going to be very good next year. I don't know, man. They're the Knicks, man. At the end of the day, they traded Cam Reddish, or they got Cam Reddish and didn't do anything with him, and now he's already in trade rumors again. They're a disaster. The Knicks are an accident waiting to happen. They are just an atrocity. They've been a laughingstock of the NBA for the past however many seasons. Don't go to the Knicks, Brunson. Do not go to the Knicks. Other than that, man, there's not really too many names that I've heard floating around. I've heard Bradley Beal here and there. I've heard Zach LaVine. There's obviously always going to be rumors over the next couple weeks. I'm really interested to see what happens between now and free agency. And during free agency, there's going to be a lot of moves that happen. I know it's coming. It's just we don't really know what. PJ Tucker's been a name that's been kind of floating around to Philly, along with Aaron Gordon. That would be a huge move for Philly if they can get PJ Tucker. We'll see. I'm going to pretty much leave it there, man. That's really all I got for the kind of NBA rumors, NBA news going on, and the NBA draft. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all thought about the draft. Let me know what kind of player movement y'all have been hearing, y'all want to see. Leave a like on the video, and I will catch y'all next episode.